Hey everyone, it's Matt at Tech Ranger, and today I want to take a look at some weapon mods for Starfield. One, because I'm going to do a quest line that I think I'm going to need some firepower for, and two, because we just did one on spacesuits and helmets. So if you haven't checked that out already, I'll have that linked above. I do like a lot of the original weapons in the game, so in this video we're going to be looking at some alternate versions to the ones that already exist in the game, and then with some added functionality as well, with maybe one exception. If you enjoy the video, leave a like down below, comment if you have any questions. But with that said, let's take a look at some weapon mods for Starfield on the Xbox. First up, we have a sniper rifle. It's the old world 50 cal M82, and this one takes the role of the hard target if you guys use that in the original game. I like this one because it's a standalone version, so it doesn't replace anything that's already in the game, but it is essentially the hard target. It's just a different weapon model with some different attachments. It's the standalone version that you can find in a few different places, but I think the easiest one is probably this firing range on Sidonia on Mars. It'll be on a box on this left bay here, and it looks about how you would expect out of the box, but the real cool thing about this one is the customization. There's a few different types of barrels that you can choose. You can switch out these scopes, but then you can also put something like a reflex sight on a sniper rifle, which is some Call of Duty vibes for sure, but you can always just put a scope on it. This is the recon scope, and then this one was the medium one that came on it by default, and then this one is the long one. As far as the damage goes, it's actually a little less powerful than a hard target that you might find on a New Game Plus, so it's not the best in that department, but it's a really cool weapon model and fits in with the old Earth look. Next up, we got the AA-105, which is actually a rifle version of the Allied Armaments weapon that's already in the game, and you can craft a version from the Industrial Workbench. There's also a variant that you can find as well, which we'll look at. And if you notice there, we did that with credits, and the same goes for the attachments that you can make for this weapon as well. You just use credits. The big things with this one is that it does have a slower rate of fire. You're also going to have a much smaller magazine size, so you're only going to be able to do like a semi-auto or a burst fire with this weapon. The suppressor actually comes built in, so you can use this in a stealthy build, which I think is pretty cool. But the increased damage will save you if you do get discovered. You can take out somebody pretty quick. So similar visuals since it is that Allied Armaments family. If you're not a fan of the lower magazine size, you can find a different version of this weapon laying around at the mass building in the scientific wing in New Atlantis, and there's a couple of extra mods that you can make as well on it. So the burst on this one is actually a 4-round as opposed to the 2 on the one that you can craft. So this one essentially puts the shotgun from Doom into Starfield. This is the one I mentioned at the beginning of this video that might not fit in with the rest, but I think it totally could. And this is kind of based off of the Coachman weapon that's already a double barrel shotgun in the game, and you can get this by going to the lodge. There's going to be a chest there. After you install the mod, you're just going to want to make sure you load up a save that's outside of the lodge, or you might not see the chest. But once you get in there, you can see the chest, and you can grab the shotgun out of it, and you can even mod it if you'd like, although I'm not really sure that you need to mod it because it's pretty powerful right out of the gate. Having a shotgun with high damage is kind of what you want in a game, and I think the Coachman did that in the original game. I just wasn't a fan of the look of that and then some of the other Laredo weapons, so why not have one that looks like the Doom shotgun, because we're in space, so it's not that far of a stretch. But you can also get the Spacesuit mod as well from Doom, and you don't necessarily need to have one or the other. If you just want to go for the weapon, you can, but in this one, it'll be the chest right next to where you got the shotgun, and all these different versions of the armor will just have different stats and perks, and you can even change the color of all these pieces too, which is pretty cool. So while you're going through a facility like this, you might as well do it in style with the armor. You don't need this mod if you just want to use the shotgun itself, but this would be a great complement if you're going to go and use the shotgun. Next up, we have the HVAP Carbine. Same thing as with the Doom shotgun. It's going to be in the lodge, so you're going to want to have a save that's outside of the lodge, but it'll be right next to those chests there where you found that shotgun. And then this one is built off of the Beowulf weapon. And then a lot of those attachments will also be the same. It's a cool weapon mod, and if you're not a fan of some of the original designs in the game, it's a good like replacement, even though it's not a replacer mod like the next one we're going to look at. It looks like it could be something that might be around as a ballistic weapon in the 24th century, as noted in the mod description, so it fits in pretty well with the rest of the game. You can go full auto with this one, but you can also change the damage output of it as well by increasing the rarity. And that should help if you're installing this on a New Game Plus playthrough because everything needs more damage. So Earth collapsed in the 23rd century in the game, so we have these old Earth weapons, which are pretty cool, but I would think things would be a little bit more advanced at the time. So we've got this replacer here, which replaces that model, for the assault rifle at least. I like the green and black look here. The only downside is that it is a replacer, so it's not like you're going to have this super powerful weapon all of a sudden. It acts just like the original in terms of modding. However, the flip side of that is that you can find some better ones out in the wild to help with New Game Plus and then any playthroughs after that. Because as you can see here, one that I picked up early in the game is not doing a lot of damage. Last thing to note with this one is make sure you close out of your game after you install it or if you move any other mods around, because I've noticed with replacers so far it seems like if you don't do that, the replacer won't actually work. That is going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Just want to put something together to compile a list of some of the cooler weapon mods I've seen so far. By no means a definitive list because there's more out there and there'll be more being created and then ported to the Xbox. So thank you again for watching and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.